Can someone get me my hand fan, please? Hello. Funky obeys. I can't hear you. That's this thing should go off. Mm, okay. So hello guys and welcome to another live stream. To another live class for today. I'm trying to keep my okay. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, let me just take my time. Hello guys. So hello guys. So you're welcome. You're welcome to another live class for today. If you can hear me, please let me know. If you can see me, please let me know. All right. So you're welcome. I want us, somebody should confirm, please. So let's get straight to today's tutorial. So you're welcome. Yes, let's see you. Welcome, welcome. Daki, you're welcome. Yes, you can hear me. Yes, ma'am. So Daki, can you hear me? Is everything okay? Is our sound okay for today? So let's see, let's know, and then let's go straight to the CTP. Akuna Matata. You're welcome. Is the sound okay? Is our sound okay? Thank you so much. Okay, Daki, yes, ma'am. Okay. Ophelia, you're welcome. Good evening. Yes, guys. So welcome guys to another live class for today. As you can see me, I'm okay, I'm good, and I hope you guys are okay and good also. So today we're going to be doing an off-shoulder top, an off-shoulder blouse, and then we're going to be adding the sleeves also. So it is a beautiful piece. As a beginner, after this today's class, you will be able, so just follow everything and you'll be able to do. Modukpe, good evening, you're welcome. So guys, let's get straight into our tutorial for today. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. Please let me know where you're watching me from. You should like this video so it can spread to others. So thank you so much. Those of you that are giving me hearts, you're welcome. Thank you. So these are the fabrics that we're going to be using today. We'll use the Ankara piece for our main bodies, and then we are going to use this satin for our sleeves. Okay guys, so let me just keep that on the side, and then I'm going to readjust my camera. So we're going to draft it on a pattern paper. It is a bust here. Okay, so let's draft it and then we'll transfer straight into our fabric. Ophelia, thank you so much. You're welcome. Jackie, you're watching from Guyana. You're welcome. So yeah, I'm just trying to see. Okay, let's see. Let's do this here. I think this is better. So we can see our table now. So guys, so let's just get started for our tutorial today. So when you want to draft an off shoulder, it is a simple process. Off shoulder, you have to take out some inches from the top of your pattern. So you can see a line here. So this line is going to, okay, Ophelia, all right. So this line is going to be like our startup line, okay? So the next thing we're going to do now, I'm going to use 5.5 inches to drop my bodies for today. So you can see how I'm placing my pattern paper. So that's 5.5 inches. So that point is above. So I'm taking that out. So this is what forms the offness of the shoulder. So let me use that word. Yeah. So I'm using 5.5. You can use 5 inches. You can use 6 inches. So it depends on how much cleavage you want to show. So that is what you will use. So those of you that are just joining us, you are welcome. If you have not hit on the like button, please like the video. So the next point I'm going to mark now is our nipple point. So for this class, we're going to be using 10.5 inches. So I'm going to place my ruler like this now, and then I'm going to mark that 10.5 inches. So you can see it is a simple process. So that's my bust point. So the next line I'm going to mark is my under bust, which is this point. Okay, my camera, I need to readjust this. I had these issues that day. Okay, so sorry guys. So the next point is this under bust point. Okay, so from the shoulder, so I'll place it like this again, and then I'll mark that point. So I have 13.5, and then I'm going to mark my 13.5 here, and then of course the full length of my blouse, I'll use 20 inches for the full length. So all of these lines now, I am going to go ahead now. I will just rule them out like this. So if you are just joining us, you are welcome. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to start drafting our bodies straight to the point. So the first thing we are going to do is our dart. So for the dart, for you to get your dart, what you are going to do, you are going to take your nipple to nipple, which is bust span. So for this, my bust span is actually 8 inches. So when you place one here like this and measure from this point to the other, I have 8 inches. So I'll divide that 8 inches into two, and then I'm going to mark 4 inches. So that 4 inches, I'll mark it all across on my lines. Remember the lines that we did, the bust point line. This is our bust point line. This is the under bust line. So I'll place it there, and then I'll place it on the full length also. So after placing them, I'm going to use a straight ruler like this. I will run a straight line on all of these points. Okay, so after running a straight line on all of these points, the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to take out our dart. It is a simple process. I'll come to the under bust line. I want to take out 2 inches for my dart, so I'll take out 1 inch to the right, and then 1 inch like this to the left. Okay, so that's line. What I'm going to do, I'll connect it like this to the bust point line, and then connect this one also to the bust point line like this. So the next thing now, come to the shoulder line. I'll take 1 inch to my right hand side. So this is like just a simple beginner friendly bust here. 1 inch to the right, and then half of an inch to the left. So guys, you can see it is a simple process. So this one, I'm just going to connect it back to this point, and then this one on this other left side, I'll connect it back to this point. Okay, so this part, I'm going to blend this part. We don't need them to be sharp, just blend it. And then this line, this my pattern, I'm just going to do this. I'll take it to this point like this. So this actually forms my dart. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut out this pattern, and then before we take out the full body measurement. Okay, so see what I'm doing. So if you are just joining us, you are welcome. So let me know where you're watching me from, so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm cutting out the pattern that we just did. So you can see I'm just navigating the curve. It is a simple bust here. You can see the shape of the bust here. You see how it looks good. So the next thing now, I'm cutting the other dart point. So that's just like basically what I'm trying to do. So I'll just navigate this curve, and then I'll cut this off. Okay, so after cutting, I'm going to, so let me just keep this one on the side so it's not disturbing me. So I'm going to take this pattern like this, and then I'll place it on top of this point like this, and then we are going to take out our full bodice measurement. So you can see I'm just placing it just a little bit, just on top like this. So I'm trying to secure it. Okay, so you don't need to put it too much so it does not take all of the lines. So you just place it like that. And then the next thing we're going to take now is our bust line. Okay, so our bust measurement is 36. So that 36, I'm trying to open this up. Okay, so my bust measurement is 36. So when I divide 36 into 4, I'm going to have 9. So I'll place the 9 here. If you notice, I don't have allowance but no problem. So we're going to deal with that later. So the next thing now, I'm going to come to this point. I'm going to mark out my armhole line. So for my armhole, I'm just going to use about 8 inches, which is 16. So I'll mark it here like this. So let me add my pattern paper. All right, so okay, I hope you guys can see. So I'm just trying. I don't want it to move. Okay, so I'll place that one there. So this is like an extension, just an extension. Okay. So remember I marked 9 inches now, and then so this line I'll just extend it. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to add my I'll mark it like this, and then I'll just bring it this way. If you notice, I did not add allowance to it. Okay. So this shoulder part, we're still going to snatch that top part so it stays properly. So the next thing we're going to do now, I'm going to add my bust measurement, okay, which I've done, which I said is 36. So I'll mark that 36 and then curve it here. So the next thing I'm going to do, that those lines, so just extend them like this. My tape is not here. I would have taped it down. So I'll measure it again. So that's my 9 inches. So I'll mark my 9 inches there like that. And then I'll add just 1 inch allowance to the bust area. If you notice the top part, I've not tightened it, so just 1 inch is okay. So that line, I'll just extend it to the bust line here. So the next line I'm adding is my, okay, I'm just making sure that people can see what I'm doing. So the next line I'm adding is my under bust line. So my under bust is 24, sorry, 17 plus 30. Every time you have to remeasure yourself and measure yourself and remeasure yourself. So my under bust is 7.5, which is 30 inches. Okay. So I'll take this like this, and then I'll place it. I don't want my marker to dry up. So I'll place it here, which is 7.5. And then that 7.5, I'll add just 1.5 inch allowance to it. So that allowance, I'll just extend it to this point like this. And then the next line we are going to add now is the down part of our blouse. Okay, so for the down part of our blouse, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use 36 inches. So I'll take my tape like this, 36 divided by 4, I'll place it 9, and then I'm going to add just about 2 inches allowance to it. So all of this line, I'm going to connect them like this. So I'll connect them, and then the next thing now, we are going to cut this. Okay, so before we cut this, I need to pin this thing down. I don't want it to go and fly away. Mhm. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. If you have not hit on the like button of this video, please hit on the like button. If you have questions, please ask your questions as we go as we go along. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to cut, let me cut this off first. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to add our neckline. So to add this neckline to this, I know it is a sweetheart neckline, so there's something we need to do. We need to check that shoulder part so that the shoulder is not too wide. Okay, so the shoulder measurement is 14. So when you are doing an off shoulder, always measure. Good evening, Chioma. Always measure your chest line, you understand? So when you measure your chest line, is always that's in round of your chest, so you know that's where your off shoulder will sit, so it will be tight. Okay, so for this, when I measured my off shoulder like that, that's my round shoulder, my round chest rather. So let me show you guys how to do it. So this is what you will do. You make sure when you measure it, make sure that it is tight. Okay, so because that you are going to put that into consideration when you are actually doing the shoulder. That's after sewing, you measure it, you place it, and then you measure it. Okay, so now I just want to make sure I will check. So it's around this top part, which is my bust area. So I have enough allowance, which is okay. So the next thing now, on this part, we're going to create our neckline. So to create my neckline, it is a sweetheart neckline. So I'll just keep this on the side. Let's work with this. Okay, so for that sweetheart neckline, remember we're using 5.5 inches. So I'll place it here like this. So it depends on how deep I want my chest area to be. So for this, I want it to be like 8 inches. So I'll place my 8 inches here like this. And then the next thing, I'm going to come to this side like this. I'll use 3 inches. So this is my 3 inches width. Okay, so that 3 inches width, I'll just use my pattern curve. So I'll use my pattern curve like this. So you can see what I have. So the next thing we're going to do now, we are going to mark our shoulder measurement. We need to balance it up to make sure that it's not going to fall out. Okay, so our shoulder measurement, I'm going to reduce my shoulder measurement by with like 1.5 inch. You can use 1 inch, depends on how tight you want it to be. So my shoulder measurement is 14. When you divide 14 into 2, I have 7 inches. So this is my 7 inches. So I'm not going to use 7 inches. So I'm going to come to like 5.5 inches. Okay, so that 5.5 inches, this is my 5.5 inches. I'm going to place this, and here, see what I'm going to do. From this point, I'm just going to mark this and then blend this into my armhole. Okay, just blend this now into my armhole area. Okay, so you can see, so this will now be my armhole. So I need to pin it on this side before it will fly out. Okay, okay, so you can see, so that will help to tighten that area. So now add my, so I'll add my neckline, and then I'm going to open this up. So you can see, so this will help to tighten this part. Now this part that I've reduced now, so I'm not going to have, it's not going to be gripping. So the next thing now, we're going to transfer this to our fabric. So I'll use this to cut my back piece, so you guys will see how I am going to do it right now. So the next thing, so I'll just take my fabric like this, and then I'll place this, and then I'll take this also, I'll place this. Okay, so my pattern is a little bit bigger than my, is a little bit bigger, but no problem, it's okay. So you can see, so I'm going to cut this now. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. Okay, so I'll cut the armhole first. So I've added my armhole. So I've added that part. The next thing, I'm going to cut open my dart. Okay, so if you are just joining us, you're welcome. Okay, so please let me know on the comment section. You can just greet, say hello, say hi. Let me know where you're watching me from. I would want to know. I always want to know. Okay, love it. You're watching from Aba. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, love it. Okay. So you can see, so these are my side pieces. A little bit smaller though, but it's okay. So now I'm going to use this. I will use it to cut the back piece. So for the back piece, our back piece is going to have allowance. So I'll just fold my fabric. So I'm managing my fabric though. So this is not, after all, nobody's going to wear it. So you can see how this is going to be, and then I'll take this for my back piece. So I'm just using the body frame. If you note, just note I'm just using the body, just like the body's frame. That's just like basically what I'm trying to do. Okay, so for the back, I'll show you the back neckline. The back neckline is going to be a deep neckline. It's just going to be deeper than this, so it's going to come like this. So you can see this one here, just come down a little bit, just like 1 inch. Okay, just like 1 inch. So mark my dart point, and then mark my dart point. So for the dart, for the back dart, I'm just going to put a regular dart. So you can see I'm just making a round, a normal round line neckline. I've forgotten that I'm teaching. So let me show you guys the measurement that I use for the back neckline. So you can see the back neckline is about 8.5 inches. So you can see it's about 8.5 inches. So just mark that up to that point. Okay, thank you so much, Antonia. You're welcome. Okay, Ayeni, you're welcome. You're watching from Naija. Aret, you're welcome. You're watching from Benin. Thank you. So you can see I'm adding the neckline, the back neckline. Okay. So for the back, we're just going to add our normal regular waist dart to our back piece. Okay, so guys, so I want us to just get started now, straight into the tutorial for today. Okay, so in order for us to make this easy, I'm going to get a lining. So we'll put lining on the front piece. Okay, so you guys can see. So I'm going to get a lining. So let's add a lining. You people know that the challenge that I'm always having here with all this live stream, the biggest number one, number two, number three challenges is light. All of you, those of you that are in Nigeria, you will understand. Okay, so you place it like this, and then we're going to cut. Number one, number two, number three issues is light. So you guys should just bear with me. I'm just trying as much as I can to teach you people, to make you people to understand just as much as I can. So this is not all our tutorials here. It's not like they are as in perfect. It's just here. It's just for you to get the idea of how to go about the pattern. Okay. So because if I look at the circumstances around, I will not do live stream. So I've just decided not to look at the circumstance. Okay. So that is why people see that I am still here, still trying as much as I can, not allowing the light issues to disturb me. Okay, so that is why I just still keep going and don't, mind me, giving up is not an option in my side. hmm don't belong to the generation of people that give up no matter what. We continue. So you guys, you can just let me know where you're watching me from. Okay, guys. So now thank you. So now let's tune our camera. Mhm. Oh, we're good to go, right? Okay. So people can be still be seeing my face small small as well as we are doing and going. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, let's let's join our lining piece. Let's join our lining. So I'll keep, so this is my back piece. So for the back piece, I'm not going to put any lining. I'm just going to add my waist dart to it like this. So I'll open up the back piece and I'm going to join it on the zip allowance point. Okay, the tiny zip allowance that I put. So let's go ahead. Let me add the zip allowance. Let me just join it. Okay. So if you're just joining us, you're welcome. If you have not hit on the like button, please hit on the like button. I would appreciate that. So I'm trying to just mark the points of the darts for the back piece. So you can see how the back looks like. That's the back neckline. So all of this part, we are still going to blend it. So you people should keep watching. For those of you that don't know how to sew, watch very well and learn all the tricky and trick. So most times when I'm sewing, I always like joining my lining piece first. Why? I join the lining piece first, just in case you have some issues. So from the lining, you'll be able to find out. So this dress actually does not have any pad. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys what to. There's something I'm going to show you guys now. For those of you, if you are, in case you are sewing and there's no pad, so I will, when I finish the lining piece, I'll do it on the fabric so you guys can see. Here is the other piece now. That's what I'm looking for. Oh jeez. So if you notice that front neckline on my lining, I did not add it. Oh, I did not add the front neckline. So most times I don't always like adding it. It's after sewing, when I want to turn it, that is when I usually add it. So that actually makes it easier. Okay. So now this is my lining piece. It's okay, so you can see. All right. So now let's stitch the main fabric piece. So that's the back. So let it be on the side. So I'll open this up now, and then I'm going to add my side piece. So for this, I usually start stitching from the top. Okay, okay, sorry, it's like the network went off. So I'll join the other side now. That's this other side now. So you can see. So I'll hold it like this now from that tip. So I'm joining it now. So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. If you have not liked this video, please like the video so others can see it. I would appreciate it. Give it hearts, thumbs up. Super thanks, Muzumbe. You're welcome. Okay, so now this is what I want to show you guys. So you can see. So in case you are making a busty and you don't have pad, so when you put it like this, so me this now, because I have mastered my bustier, so you can see how it is staying. So for example, you are in a place where you don't have pads to pad your bustier, and then you sew. Maybe this part is coming out like this. You understand? Maybe after sewing, you see this part coming out like this. Simple thing for you to do is you just take your pattern, you hold it back from this stitch, and then you stitch that part that is coming up like that. You just rerun, like take out again like a quarter of an inch, just navigate the curve like that on that quarter of an inch. When you navigate, by the time you finish navigating the curve, when you open it up, you find out that it is smooth, so you can see how smooth it is. You can see. So this is what I was trying to do. For instance, now you have this small poke here. I have a little tiny poke here that is coming out. Why? Because I did not pad this dress. So what I will do, I'll just take it like this, and then I'll place it back on my machine. And then that part that have that little poke, I'll just like run a stitch. That's like we hold the dart lines together. You understand? So that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, Nana, thank you. So you just rehold that part. So by the time you rehold that part, you can see this is a bustier. It does not have any pad. You can see how it is staying well on me. I've not even ironed it though. You can see. You guys can see. You can see how it is looking fitted, as in it aligns properly. I think that's the right word. Okay. So guys, you guys should clap and give me thumbs up. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do now, so we're working on the front piece. So after that, the next thing we're going to join this now with our lining. So I'll take the front piece. If you notice, like I said, the front piece I did not add the neckline. So I'll take the lining. This is the right side of the lining, and then I'll place it to the right side of my fabric piece. So you can see this looks good, and I just love the curve that it gave. Okay. So now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to sew this part, but the armhole area, I'm not going to stitch it. Okay. Titilayo, thank you so much. Yes, it is really coming out beautiful. Even me, I'm like, wow. So now I'm going to stitch the neckline, but see the armhole side, I'm not going to stitch it. Okay. So let's go. So this shoulder part, this top part that I'm stitching, there's a probability that I might still trim it. So, but just navigate the curve. When you get to the center, you stop, and then you turn again, and then you continue like that, and then you get to that point. Okay. So like I said, I'm not going to stitch the armhole area because we're going to add a sleeve. But if it was a tube, we'll cover it on the armhole area. So now I'm cutting open that neckline part. Okay. So I'm cutting open that neckline part. So the next thing, I'm just trying to check it to make sure that everything is okay. So I'll join the side of our bodice piece. So normally I'm supposed to join the under, you understand, but I'm not going to join it. So you're supposed to just sew all of the four edges. That's like what I'm trying to sew all of the four edges, and then turn it from the armhole part. Okay. But since I did not add a lining to my back piece, I don't want to trouble myself, so I'm just going to leave that, and then we will continue. Okay. So I'm just joining. So I'm showing you guys this because of my beginners. Okay. So thank you so much, Uzumbe. When are you good? Okay. So you are good. You are good. Thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate it. The truth of the matter, being good when it comes to sewing is just a time. It's just like it's just a matter of time. Everybody, you can be good in sewing. You understand? It's just a matter of time. When you keep sewing, as you keep going, you'll be getting better. You will learn. So I'm trying to notch that center point so it sits properly. Okay. So now I'm trying to open this up. So the armhole, if you notice, the armhole is looking a little bit small. No problem. We are going to trim that when we are done. Okay. So I'm just trying to use my hands to stretch this out properly. like I said today, we're just going to align like this. So at this point now, the next thing you should do is you iron your dress. Okay, so you just iron it so all your seams, they lay out flat, straight and neat. Okay, so most times in my live stream when I'm doing things like this, I like to use fabric that relaxes better. So with that, I will not stress myself too much. So at the end of the day, so you can see after turning, you can see, and then you see the inside. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to join our back and our front piece. So like I said, the back piece, if you notice, we did not put lining, we did not so I'm not putting lining, I'm not putting anything. So I'm just going to place them like this. So like I said, we're still going to trim all of this. When we are done, we're going to trim them. Okay, so the next thing now, we're going to, so I'm trying to, so let me add the dart for the back piece. So I'd marked the point earlier on. So I'm just going to use like 5 inches. That's the length is about 5 inches, but the wideness for the back dart, I'm going to use half inch. You know the front dart we use 1 inch, but for the back dart, since I'm just doing a straight waist dart, I'm just going to run half inch, but that half inch is going to be 5 inch length. That's 5 inches long. Okay, okay, so now we have, okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now, so we're going to join them together. So for us to join them together, so I'll open this. So let's mark our, so let's mark our blouse. So if you remember that the front piece, the front, we actually use 36. Okay, so I'm going to check. If you remember that we had some little bit of issues at that 36 at the end of the day. Okay, so I was just trying to double check. So 36 is 18. So I'll take it that point like that, and then I'll mark on this side and then mark it on this side. And then I'll come to the under bust side, the under bust, which is 30. You know, remember I used 30 inches. So I'll mark 15 on this side and then mark it on this side. Okay, and then for the down part, I used 30, I used 36 initially, but I'm going to reduce it. I need that part to be smaller, so I'll reduce it to about 34. So I'll mark all of those points, and then, so most times I like marking on my back piece, and then I'll just connect them like this with this line, so you can see. So when you do this, you will even know if your bodice will come out well or if it will not come out well. So from here, you will just mark and then you will know. Okay, so thank you so much. Let's see, Antonia. Thank you so much for all of the compliments. I appreciate. Yes, Muzumbe, practice makes perfect. That's just the truth. So the next thing now, we're going to join them together like this. Okay, so we'll take the front piece and then join them together like this. So basically, they are going to lap on this our necklines. They are going to join together on the neckline part. So like I said, we're still going to trim. When we are done, we're still going to trim and arrange our armhole. Okay, so I'll just take this like this, I'll place them together, and then I am going to stitch and join them, join the back piece and the front piece. I'd already marked it, so it will be easier for me now to navigate. Okay, okay, so the next thing, so after stitching that one, I'm going to stitch the other one. So let's change our thread under. So those of you that are just joining us, you're welcome. Hello. Western African from the desert. Thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. The other person, even the name self, I cannot read it because it's not God. So I'm joining the other parts now. So I'm just following my lines. You guys know that marked out I'd already marked out the lines. So I'll just navigate it like that, and then I'll mark it. So I'm going to, at this point now, I'm going to try and see if my pressing iron, if my inverter can carry my pressing iron, okay? So let's just pray and hope the light does not trip off. So before we continue with the sleeve, so I'll get my pressing iron and then let me turn off my machine. My pressing iron, please. Okay. So I've got somebody will get it for me. My son will bring it for me now. So good evening, ma. Late. What did I miss? We are actually doing an off-shoulder dress. Abdullahi, Abdurrahman. Yes, you came late, but you can watch. You can watch it. Just click on the live stream. You see it from the beginning. Nalia, can you shout out? Oh, Nalia Buko. Okay. I'm coming. I'll try and pronounce your name properly. Don't worry. I'll give you a shout out. Of course, I love to give shout outs. So let's keep our fingers crossed that our, oh yeah, the pressing iron is on. Okay. So let me try and pronounce your name. Nala Buluka. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Nalia. Have you liked the video yet? Like the video, give me thumbs up, give me thumbs up, give me hearts, give me likes. So I appreciate that. Okay. Yes, you know, I always like to give everybody shout out. And some people will be complaining. They say you you, you are wasting time. The truth of the matter is when you are doing live stream, you should give people shout outs, okay? Yeah, you should give them shout outs. So now I'm just trying to press. So yeah, the dress is giving. Yeah, it is giving. Let me use that word. Okay. So I've pressed all my seams. So I'm going to turn it off. Let me take it off. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to trim our blouse to make it to sit properly. So this is a blouse that is not padded though, and yet you can see it is looking good. It is looking good. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do now, before we do our what do you call it, sleeve. Even my fan, this one is running down. So let's see. Okay. All right. So we don't have new messages. So you people should drop messages. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to fold this like this. Why I'm folding this now? Because we want to work on the sleeve part. Okay. So we can do it like this. So we'll be able to see it properly. So you place it like this. Now we are going to work on the sleeve. Okay. So we want to trim the sleeve. So I'll get my tape like this, and then I'm going to come to this point. So this is like that nip, that point, these 2 points like this. Okay. My fan is not working very well again. I should have charged it. So you can see I'm sweating again. So I'll place it like this, which is 5.5 on this point. You know that the back is a little bit deeper. So note, so I'll place it here like this. And then I'm going to mark my armhole, which is 9 inches. So I'll mark my armhole like that. And then from that point like this, I'm going to, so this one at times it's good to do it in front. So I'm just trying to mark. Okay, so there's something I'm going to explain to you people. Let me just cut it first. So I'll open them up. So this point here, this point here. This is where off shoulderness comes in. Let me just use that word, off shoulderness. Why I'm using that word is depends on how much you come in on this point. That is what will determine how wide your off shoulder will be. For instance, if I want my off shoulder to be this kind of off shoulder, that it will be off shoulder, but yet it will not be falling. What I'm basically going to do, I'm just going to take my tape like this, and then I'll measure from here to here on my chest. So all the secret that I'm giving out here, these are some of the secrets in my online class. So I should There some of the secrets in my online class, so I'm just like spilling all of them. But it's no problem. There's no big deal there. Even if you don't pay for my online class, you can still learn it here, no problem. So you take your tape like this, and then you place them here from here to here, mm-hmm. And then you check. So when you check, you can see for this I have about 8 inches. So if I don't want my off shoulder to fall, I want those off shoulder that like all those Igbo blouse that will balance properly on your chest. You know, some falls out, some it will start from here, some it will start from here. So this is where you measure. So it depends on what you measure. So for this now, you can see for this I have about 10 inches. So that 10 inches is going to, so my off shoulder is going to be like from here to here. You understand? So if I want it, I hope my microphone has not. But if I want those ones that falls out, I will take it from here to here. So at this point, this is where you just choose what you want. So basically, put your tape and then measure. So let's see. We have a long chart here. Okay, Western African. He said, I think the person that you don't know how to say her or his name is pronounced either in Russia. They have a different letter. Yes, thank you. That's true because I could not do it. Okay, spill all the secrets. You want me to spill all the secrets? You try, well. But no problem. Like I said, there's no big deal there. So for this, I still want to come in a little bit more. So this is what I will do. I'll just so for this, if you do this kind of off shoulder, you find that it will balance. Okay, so the reception went up. So you see the neck. You guys should see what I was trying to say to you. You see how balanced this off shoulder is on this point. Like so, by the time you fix your sleeve now on this point now, it will balance properly. So here you measure here. So that is why make sure you always measure your clients their chest to know. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to make our sleeves. So earlier on, I made one of the sleeves already, but I'm going to show you guys so you can see. I'm going to show you guys how we are going to do this. I'm just sweating all over my body. My fan. My fan has finished. Let me just off it. So now this is the fabric that I'm going to use to do the sleeve. Okay. So now I'm going to take this. This is the sleeve. So I'm going to show you. Let's measure. Let me tell you guys the dimension that I'm using for this. Okay. So the full length that I'm using. So if you notice, it's an elastic sleeve. It's about 27 inches. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, in order for us to cut the sleeve, you are going to determine how wide you want it to be. So for this, I have about 10 inches width. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this like this. It's a simple process. Off shoulder sleeve, very simple and very easy. So I'm going to take this like this, and then I'll place it like this. Okay. And then I'm going to come to the tip of this point like this. I'll place this. So why I'm placing it like this is because I am going to fold that point. So that is why you see I came down. So you can see. So my armhole, what I'm going to do, I'm just trying to create my armhole on this point. Okay. So for this, you're going to determine how wide you actually want your, what do you call it? Your sleeve to be. So you know I use 10 inches, so you can use a little bit more. So the next thing we're going to do now, I'm going to open this fabric up like this, and then I'm going to come up. I want to measure I want to measure where we're going to put our elastic. So I'll come up by 7 inches. So this is optional, depends on how much fullness you want for the down part. That's that part, depends on what you want. So I've ruled that part. So the next thing I'm going to do now for my sleeve, the next thing I'm going to do now, this part, that top part that I cut off, I'm going to fold it in by 1 inch or half of an inch, because I'm going to pass an elastic through that point. Okay, so let's go back to our, so I'm going to stitch it down. So I'm trying to secure it down now. Okay, so you can, if you notice, I've secured it down. So that part, we're going to pass elastic through it when we are done. So the next thing now, we're going to come to this line that we marked. So remember the line that we marked. So I'm going to get my elastic now. So it's a simple process, like I always say, and I will continue to say. I'm going to take this now on this part. So I'll just come on the edge of my, I'm going to leave like 1 inch before I start stitching the elastic. Okay, that's, I'll like come in by 1 inch, and then I'll place my elastic on that point. If you notice, I did not measure the elastic, so I'll secure it, and then as I stitch on that line, I will keep pulling my elastic. That is, I'll pull it as tight as I can. Okay, so I'll pull it as tight as I can. So it depends on the put. So on this part, because I don't want it to be too big, so I'm just using my hand to like create like tiny pleats on it. So when I get to that point, I'm going to stop. Okay, so I'll secure it. That's like give it a top stitch, and then I'm going to cut this open right now. So I'll cut that open. So the next thing now, I'm going to get my pins. So for this part now that I want to do, you are going to determine how loose you want your shoulder area to be. Okay, so it is optional, depends on how loose you want it to be. So if you notice, the one on the original picture is not like, it is not very, the elastic is not very loose, it's just a little bit of elastic that is inside. So what you are going to do from this point, I'm just going to try to eyeball it to just check so you can see how it looks like. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm just going to secure it down. That's like basically stitch it down so it does not move. That's what I want to do before we fix it on it, so it will not go and remove when we're trying to stitch it. Okay, so the next thing now, this one on this side also, I would sew it and stitch it down also before I take out the safety pin that I'm using. Okay, okay, so I'll take that out, and then I'll take out my pin. So the next thing now, we're going to join this leaf together. So those of you that are just joining us, you're welcome. Solomon, you're welcome. Yeah, Antonia, thank you so much. So I'm going to turn it together now so you can see the sleeve. So when you are done, you fold the edges, that's the down part. Okay, so I'll place them together. Remember those 1 inch that I left on the edges, so that is where and what you will use to join the sleeve now. So you can use half of an inch, so it depends on what you want. You can use half of an inch, you can use 1 inch. Okay, so after joining, So I'm just trying to clear off all of these rough edges on my work. Okay, so the next thing now, I'm going to open this up and let's see. So you can see the sleeve. You see it is a simple sleeve. You see it. So like I said, if you want it wider, you make it wide. So because so I'm just trying to trim the edge. So when you are done, you fold the edge of your sleeve. So you can actually fold it before. So this is what we have now for our off shoulder sleeve. So you can see it. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to fix this, attach it, okay? So now this is how you will fix. So I'll take this and then I'm going to take this. A very simple process, simple way. I'll take this, I'll place this here so you can see to get to this point, and then so I'm trying to check it before I continue. So I checked it, I noticed that my armhole is a little bit bigger. So since it is a little bit bigger, I'm going to double check it before I start stitching, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to place it again and then I'll trim it to the size. But when you are doing this, you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful so you don't go and over trim it. So I'm trying to check it. So I'm taking the center part of my armhole and then placing it so you can see that it has aligned. So since it has aligned now, I'm going to start stitching. Okay. So from that point, I'll just take that point like that, and then I am stitching already. So I'm stitching down the armhole and then I'm just opening it up. I'm afraid let it not go and snap, and it looks like it is gonna snap. It's going to snap. So just make sure that it aligns properly. Okay. So I'll open this up and then we will check. We will check. So you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do now is stitch the second sleeve. So before I stitch it, I'm going to check it also. So it is always good to check it before you stitch to make sure that they are equal. So that actually makes it easier for you. Okay. Grace, thank you so much. Okay, we're making an off shoulder blouse. So we are almost done. So this is the sleeve. We're almost done. So you can just go back and watch it from the beginning. Okay. So I'm trying to check my armhole just like I did with the first one. So you can see. So I need to still trim this one a little bit. But when trimming, like I said, you have to be careful. So you don't go and trim the God, I remember I remember when I started sewing, there was one dress I did. When I trimmed the armhole was like here. Like I was so like I trimmed it and the armhole almost got to my waist area. And that dress I was learning how to sew, and that dress I wanted to wear that dress for a wedding. And I was like, so some of the senior students there now took they now took the dress, and we had to there's a saying in Nigeria, those of you that are in Nigeria, that they say cloth no dey spoil for tailor hand. That was what happened with that cloth. Do you know we had to cut some fabric. We had to cut extra fabric to fill up that armhole, to like build up the armpit, the dress back to the top. That's what we did though. And at the end of the day, I wore that dress. Nobody even knew what happened there. Ah, nobody knew what happened though. Yes, we are done. I think we are done. We are done. We are done. We are done with our dress. Like seriously. Ooh. So the next thing, we're going to place it on our mannequin. Let's see. Oh, this dress looks so good. It looks fine. So the next thing now, we're going to turn our camera. Okay, so I'm just trying to trim so that even though I'm managing this thing, well, at least now, I'm trying to clear the pins off my, what do you call it? All right, so now let's see. If I tell you people, at times when you carry mannequin like this jejely, so I'm opening my dress. Like I always say, don't do that at home. Òṣùpá rẹ o, ó máa rògo. Before YouTube will say I've carried somebody musical, don't know them. I've used an unauthorized, I think they call am, an unauthorized music. So because this my mannequin no bin get the dress, I'm going to pin. Ugh. At times nowadays even pin sef is fake. Pin that you will use to pin dress on a mannequin body. Guys, can you guys see? So like I said, I did not slow it down. So this one, you can, if you want, if you, those people that don't like, you can bring it like this. But if you don't want to leave it like this, let me set it. I can set down where. Good. So if you, in case those people that don't like, if you want to wear it straight like this, but if you are those ones that like falling shoulder off shoulder, this is what you can just wear it. So it depends on how you want it. You wear it. So you guys can see Grace. Like seriously, you fell off from my, what do you call it? Okay, you fell off. I was trying to arrange it very well for you people. You wanted to come and break my phone. Can you guys see? People see, I mean, did we try? Did we try? Our trouser, the one we made last time. We have not finished it though. I just dumped it after that day. I've not even I've not I've not fixed the band and the trousers and the this thing. Okay. So guys, yes, it's absolutely beautiful. Yes, it is beautiful. Grace, okay, Grace that was asking. Titi Liar, so you can see, guys. So you see. So follow all of these steps. You people can see that today's class, even the sleeve, everything, we did everything beginning, that's in from scratch. Let me adjust the camera. That's what I was trying to do. So you people see my face before we go. So you people find out that everything that we did, I want people to see the dress and see my face all join. So everything that we did, you people notice that we did from scratch today. We drafted the pattern. Okay, you tried it. Try. He said she dumped it. Why did you dump it? So I'll come back. I've not even touched it since that day. I've not even ironed it. So I just want to iron it, because of the issues, the light issues. So I want to iron it and then I'll bring it back. We'll cut the band and fix the band and fix the zip. Why will you Pedro? He said I dumped it. But don't dump it oh. So guys, so you can see, so this is a beautiful piece, something that you can do for yourself. Okay, you're waiting for, yes, for it to finish. Yes. Okay, and yes, I'll finish it, maybe on Friday. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. Thursday or Friday, it depends. So you people know how something is echoing. Oh. See my microphone. Mm, mm, I bet it's the breeze. Something was okay. It's like this dress song is like bongo go rongo go. So as I'm talking, it's like the echo on my microphone. Wow, okay. All right. So the pressing iron have hurt my leg. I hope you do not give me mark. Oh. All right, guys. So thank you so much for another live stream. Today almost we're past 1 hour. Thank you guys so much. I'm tired. You can see my eyes. Let me go and sleep, bathe, and rest. So guys, so thank you so much. All of you that tuned in, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. I'll see you guys on Thursday.